Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Japanese Shabu podcast. We're gonna start off with New Saga episode 2. So this episode starts off right where the last one left off, with Kyle starting to do his own kind of like training, and one of the ways he starts training is he envisions the last opponent he faced, and not to his surprise, he doesn't stand a chance with his current form. And but to his surprise, he does realize that maybe think I've gotten stronger. So like him going back in time to before the war happened, or before the invasion happened, he he now realized, okay, well, if I am actually getting the stronger, it might be doable if I do something about it from here on out. And he doesn't realize it yet, but like his friend Tyrone and Lise were kind of watching him and seeing him make a fool of himself. And one of the things I found really interesting is that for like a little portion of that, they didn't really animate him practicing. They just kind of did slideshows, and then afterwards they did do more uh, action stuff and more animated animation. So the friends do then start questioning why he's behaving differently, why he's going out and training in this bizarre way. And one of the things they come to a sort of like a conclusion to, or like they think is happening, is they think he's found a new woman, and that's why he's behaving differently. And Lisa kind of goes up and goes and confronts him about it, like who is she? Go ahead, spill it out. And he they end up realizing it was a misunderstanding, which I found really nice nice for them to like just do that for him. And then afterwards he tries to tell them something important, like, okay, I'm gonna do something, but first of all, can I ask you guys a question? Like, what does it take to for you to talk and for people to listen to you properly? Like, and not just you guys, but like entire nations, let's say. And one of the they come up with like three different people that have that can actually pull off other countries and other people listening to him fairly well. One of them was being a king, one of them is a great priest, and then the other is becoming a hero. Because if you're a hero, you start gaining influence, and you can actually be able to move people the way you want them to, or get people to at least acknowledge your strength and follow you. So that's when he makes it his mission. All right, well, I think I need to become a hero. And he doesn't really tell them why he has to. He just tells them to trust them, and they do trust him because they are his friends. And then T-Ron kind of like goes and visits him, and he has a bunch of books around him, and he's just like, well, thank God my mother is such a bookworm. I can pretty much use all of these and learn about it. And he tells them then there, like, he will use any method necessary to become a hero. Doesn't matter for what he has to do, or what needs to happen in order for him to become a hero. And then he explains that there are three essential things need that a hero needs, and one of them is money, the other is connections, and the last one is mainly luck. So luck being the one that he can really exploit the most, because he knows what's going to happen and make it seem like it's luck that he shows up at the right place at the right time, but also knows where things are before. Like, for example, the labyrinth. He knows where the labyrinth of this place is. This place that they visit later on is. And right as he's trying to get ready to like leave on a journey, he meets with Lisa one more time and tries to get her to stay there, stay protected, stay safe. And he even kisses her, and that kind of was supposed to be the seal at the end. But then once he goes shopping for stuff, he meets one of his former companions from his future life, this elf. So he runs up to her and calls her by her real name, Excess. And in doing so, it kind of like provokes her to get angry and kind of question him. How do you know that elves don't actually tell people their actual names? And instead of having to explain to her that like he came from the future and all the stuff, he just kind of uses her name to put her to sleep, which then gets Lisa up in his face like, okay, you just kissed me, and now you're over here womanizing somebody else. Like, I get it, she's beautiful, but you didn't have to do that right away, you know. And now she was pissed, and it's like, well, now I'm definitely going with you. You're not. She wasn't about to have him go and be with some other woman that she's seen he's taken interest in, which we learn why he knows her name is the fact that him and her were a thing in the future after Lisa passed away, sadly. So we kind of see him already using his future knowledge to his advantage, and Exodus does not like the fact that he knows her name. So Kyle kind of comes up with this other thing where it's called like the application of a certain contract. So in this contract that he wants to form with her, if he ever breaks it or like uses her name in ill will, he will die. So this contract is very binding and it's very powerful that it needs to have like actual like full moon in order to fully uh, conjure one of these. But because obviously he's has his past to him, it's his past with Exodus, and now Lisa is there. She actually goes on a journey with him, him and what she will be known as like now is Ursa. And Kyle picks up this map from when they went shopping, which also another indicator that he knew that this map was going to be real because he's from the future. He's had those memories from the future, and while they made fun of him and mocked him for doing it, he was like, "No, it's real." And then Ursula kind of like noticed, "Oh, no, 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 this is actually real. Like, we're actually gonna be going to this labyrinth and getting the money that's sitting there." And they're like, "Yep." So, in order to do that, they decide to dig a tunnel to avoid all the traps and the entire labyrinth, essentially. So, afterwards, they start setting up camp after a good long day of hard work, and Lise kind of is there with having hunted a whole ass bear, and Ursa has a lot of magic that she can use. So when they finally get together in this like hot spring like thing that Ursa conjure up, they're both complimenting one another like, "Wow, you have what you lack, and I'm actually jealous of you," sort of thing. And that's that's when their like bonding kind of begins, and now they're still kind of rivals, but now you can see that their friendship forms, and they're gonna be very well acquainted moving forward. And then the next day arrives, and they finally make it to the treasure room, only for Kyle to warn them, "Listen, don't get too greedy because if you get consumed by greed, it'll be over for you." And lo and behold, Theron is the one that, after spotting all the gold, decides to run up and is like, "My gold, my gold, my gold." So he kind of is glad that Tyrion was the one that went and charged in there because like now I can show them what it's what it means to be greedy. So thank you very much. And then after a while, he goes off on his own, goes into this hidden room, and something comes out of it, and it ends up with like with that. And yeah, no, I like this episode. It was pretty decent. We get to see like the love triangle kind of forming. We get to see the party actually start to form with like magic users, strength based user, and warrior class, and whatever T run is. So I'm liking it, and hopefully after in the next episode we see what this entity that showed up at the end of this episode can truly do. So I think I'm gonna give it a solid 7 out of 10.